Faith is not about having it all together and living a perfect life. Faith is living with a vision for what it means to live this life inside of all the imperfections and mistakes that we made. Hi, I'm Pastor Nathan Decker, and this is your hashtag Better Together devotion for today. And one of the things that I realized about our faith, and when it comes to trusting God, when we lean into God, what we're doing is we are actually placing our trust, our vision of what life should be like, the way that we understand life to be, within God's understanding, within God's power, within God's authority. And instead of trying to do it all on our own and get it all right, we're allowing God to lift us up. So one of my favorite hymns from the old days is Love Lifted Me, because I love this notion, I was sinking deep within, far from the need of the all that fun stuff. And then the chorus goes, love lifted me, when nothing else could help, love lifted me. There's this notion or this idea within this hymn that is a very biblical understanding. It's grace. It's something that I did not deserve. It's something that I am totally unmerited. There's nothing that I've done to earn this, that God gives to us. It's this beautiful love that lifts us up. And of course, everyone's image goes to the Peter hopping out of the boat and walking with Jesus on the water and sinking and then being risen up, lifted up by God's love. That's the same kind of thing. The reality is that in my life, I'm never going to have it all together. I'm just not. Even when I do reach those moments of, peace and quiet, it's calm, everything seems to be going like it should, I'm probably going to screw it up, or something from outside of my system is going to come into my system and screw it up. And that's okay. Just acknowledge it. And be mindful of the grace. Be mindful of the love that is sustaining you and lifting you up. This grace, this wonderful love of God, is there to help you through this. Trusting in God is not saying, because I trust in God, I've got to get everything right. I've got to get my life together. I've got to have straight A's. I've got to have perfect children. It's not like that. Instead, trusting with God is saying this, I know the storms are coming. I know I'm going to make mistakes, but you know what? I'm going to learn from them. I'm going to use them to make the world a better place, to find togetherness within it. I'm going to be molded and shaped by the experiences as I lean in and trust God. And trust God's guidance, God's wisdom, as we listen to God's stories within the scriptures. God will lift me up by God's love. God has promised that no matter how horrible I make this thing, no matter how messed up it becomes, God will find ways to offer opportunities for light and goodness and love to be in there. I can turn my eyes away from the storm and look to Jesus, not because the storm is no longer there, but because God's love is going to lift me above the waters and help me walk upon them. This is Pastor Nathan Decker encouraging you to trust God and build a world that's better together. Amen.